Before you start looking for a federal government job, there are 5 things that you must know to help you on your journey. Let's talk about it. The first thing is that the federal hiring process moves incredibly slow. We are not talking about slow as in days or weeks. We are talking about months. On the quick side of things, maybe 3 months. And on the longer side, probably around a year. But do not let that discourage you. In fact, the best time to apply for a job is while you already have a job. If you're thinking about making the transition to a federal government job, then use this time now to start planning, to start preparing, to form your strategy in order to get the job that you want 3 to 6 months from now. I myself started about 6 or 7 months before I wanted to work at that federal government job. The next thing that you should know is you are more than likely qualified for that job series that you're targeting. And if you're watching this right now and you have experience, but you do not know where you fit in the federal government, then I would encourage you to first look at the 0300 job series. Look through the OPM job series handbook, and I'm pretty sure that you will find something that matches your experience. It is really easy to get intimidated on usajobs.gov, especially if you're looking for positions like a GS-11, because it states that you have to have a PhD to qualify on education. Now, this doesn't mean you need a PhD. You do not need a PhD because you're going to qualify on experience. You're not solely qualifying on education. And so many people miss this. So they don't even want to apply for the GS-11 because they're sitting there saying, all I have is a bachelor degree. That's okay. All you need is the experience. And with experience, a lot of times you don't even need a degree. There are people that are working as GS-13s, as GS-14s, and they have no degree. Same thing with the GS-14 and GS-15 positions. If you have 10 or more years of work experience, then do not be discouraged. Do not be afraid of the job announcement. Apply for the positions that you know you're qualified for. When you do apply, you need to make sure you are applying with a federal resume that communicates the experience and the value that you bring to that organization. If you need help doing this, then check out the course link in the description below, where I take you step by step in preparing and crafting your resume, preparing for an interview, and getting ready to accept that job offer. Okay, the next thing to understand about the government jobs is if they're administrative in nature, if you're going to be doing admin type functions, the majority of them have a telework agreement attached to it, especially so as we're moving in a post-pandemic type work environment. So we're talking about coming into the office maybe once a week, maybe twice at the most a week. In the DC area, most government employees are working from the house at least 3 or 4 days a week. Of course, this is going to be largely dependent on your agency and on who your supervisor is. A lot of times when you're first coming on, they want you to be in the office for the first couple of months to make sure that you understand your role and your responsibility and you know exactly how to perform your task. And then after that, you're going to probably end up spending the majority of the time at home. The next thing to understand is if you get a federal government job, you want to try to stay for at least 5 years. And the reason for that is after 5 years, you're fully vested in a federal pension. This is guaranteed money for the rest of your life. Now, this doesn't have to be at the same position. You can change between positions in the federal government. Let's say your first job is at the Department of Justice. But that doesn't work out for whatever reason, so after 2 years, you decide to jump to the Department of Defense for another 3 years. That's fine, because 2 and 3 equal 5, and you have your 5 years. So then if you realize that the government isn't for you and you want to get back to the private sector, that's okay because now you're fully vested. Next is to keep in mind that the federal hiring process is very much a numbers game. You're not always going to be best qualified. The hiring manager could have someone else in mind. There could be an internal candidate applying that's already a known factor and they have an edge on you. Do not get too emotionally attached to one job announcement. Do not take rejections personally. Keep applying. A formula that I created that works for me is apply with a strong resume 4 times a day, Monday through Friday for 1 month. Then in the following 6 weeks, you should have between 6 to 8 interviews. This will result in 3 to 4 job offers. And at that point, you can pick which one's the best for you. So before you get too upset, before you get too discouraged about the federal hiring process, ask yourself, are you applying 4 times a day? If not, then you know what to do. Now, if you're watching this and you're still wondering, you're still trying to figure out why am I not getting more referrals, then I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.